All right, let's get to it. Today, I want to talk to you all about pride. Capital P R I D E. Pride. You know, the word talks about the pride of life. And as I was doing my task this morning, it's like God and I was just having a conversation, and just so many things was coming to me after me just conversing with the Lord. So before I even get into the word, I want to provide the definitions. And there are quite a few, but I just chose a few that I wrote down to give you what the Webster's dictionary states. Pride is a feeling of being better than others or more important than other people. Pride is often driven by poor self-worth and shame. We feel so badly about ourselves that we compensate by feeling superior. We relish criticizing others as a defense against recognizing our own shortcomings. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the word. And let's see what the word says about pride. You know, I've heard, growing up, and of course in school, and, I know people take pride in what they do, and then, people are proud of their kids, excuse me, graduate, half this neighbor is like, okay, I know you're proud of your granddaughter, but, every time I see it, I don't want to hear the same thing. Congratulations, but, you don't want to keep hearing the same thing, because what I found a lot of times when people have their shortcomings, then things that they did not get accomplished when their children accomplish it or grandchildren accomplish it, they are really proud. And, I get that you're proud of your grandchildren and kids, but I mean, stop boasting to people. It's, sometimes stuff like that just gets on my nerves. I mean, if any man boasts, let him boast in the Lord. And again, it's okay to take pride in what you do, but when that pride becomes more important to you than the things of God, or it's all about you, because pride is all about self a lot of times, even as, that definition. Excuse me, guys, I'm just yarning away. It's been a long day. Was up early, of course, but anyway, let me just get into the word. I think we all have been guilty of pride. And that can be, we need to be careful. That can be very dangerous, because there's a lot of proud people in this world. A lot of proud people. Some people think they're superior because of the color of their skin. Some people think they're superior because they got all of these degrees and titles, or because they have millions and billions of dollars. So they're proud. And the truth be told, some of these people, they got their money illegally or on the backs of other people. So, you can't take pride in, getting money, making gains off the back of others. So, anyway, I'll move on. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13. We'll start there. It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy in the evil way, and the forward tongue do I hate. Okay? So pride and arrogancy. Now when it comes to arrogancy, that's the other thing. It's like, oh my God, there's so much uh, so much arrogancy in this country. And even when it comes, I'm thankful. I thank God that I was born and raised in this great country. We have a lot of freedoms, but it's so many arrogant people. And some people have the audacity to think, this nation is superior to others, and that's the attitude. That is not God's attitude. When we want to take on this attitude that we are superior to other nations, it's God say it's foolish to compare yourself to others anyway. I'm about to get off track. Let me just stay on pride. I'm going to give you the scriptures on pride, and you evaluate yourself. See where you are when it comes to pride. Okay? This is something that can be very harmful and dangerous when pride is taken to a level where you think you're better than others. You think you know more than God. You think you are God. Beware. All right, so let me just get to these other scriptures. I should have written all of this down because this morning it was like so many things, and I keep saying that I need to stop what I'm doing and just write it all down, because it was just like God was just, showing me things and telling me things. It's like, oh my goodness. And, I was just talking just like I talked to you guys, and it's like, well, Lord, yeah, I see that. And it's just so wonderful when you can just converse with God, just have that fellowship with him. It's awesome. You ought to try it. But anyway, I'm going to go to the 16th chapter of Proverbs while I'm here. Just going to give you a few scriptures on pride. And again, evaluate yourself. And just evaluate, your life in general. Is there pride anywhere? Or even in your household? Are you conceited? Or are you thinking of yourselves more highly than you ought to because of what you have, what you drive, where you work, what neighborhood you live in? You belong to a country club? All of these things. Because, see, we can get so wrapped up and think we're better than someone because of where we are in life. And that's what we think making it in life is. All those things mean nothing. Especially if you don't spend your eternity in heaven. When you leave here, that might be the best life you live if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. So be careful. And I'm about to read here about pride, chapter 16, verses 18 and 19. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. And this is just where this contractor that I was telling you guys about, this is where he is. He's very arrogant. Think he's so smart. Pride goes before destruction. A haughty spirit before a fall. Beware. All right, so let's go on to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, verses 10 through 16. See, prideful people, they think they know it all. And they think they know more than God. So anyway, chapter 14. Let's start at verse 10. And they shall speak and say unto you, are you also become weak as we? Are you become like unto us? The pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under you, and the worms cover you. How are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will stand above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see you shall narrowly look upon you and consider you, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So see, this was the falling of Lucifer, Satan. He tried to exalt himself above God. That's pride. All right, let's move on to 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7. And there's so many more, but I just wanted to zone in on these. But take your time. Study about that. Evaluate yourself. It says, For who maketh you to differ from another? And what have you that you did not receive? How, if you did receive it, why do you glory as if you had not received it? Now this part here, this speaks to a lot of people who boast about themselves thinking they did everything on their own. What you receive, listen, God gave you the ability to think. He gave you that brilliant mind. He gave you the ability to solve problems. He gave you the ability to have crafts or be creative with your hands, to design systems and whatever it is, whatever you have been successful in. You can't boast in what you have. You receive this from God. So it's not that you can glory in your success. Don't become prideful. Don't boast in what you did. If any man boast, let him boast in the Lord. Now let's move on to 2 Corinthians. Well, let me backtrack right quick because I'm going to go to Psalms 10, 2 and 4 right quick. And then I'll go back to the New Testament. So Psalms 10, verses 2 and 4. Listen to this. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all of his thoughts. Verse 4 again. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. All right? Now let's get back to Corinthians. We're going to go to 2 Corinthians chapter. So 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 4 says, Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my glorying of you. I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. So when you're taking pride in someone else, it's not that you're boasting you, but you're proud of someone's accomplishment. You're esteeming others higher than yourself. So that's what it's talking about him. Here is like, great is my glorying of you. I'm not glorying myself, but I'm praising you. You know what I'm saying? Not that they're taking the place of God, but it's like, I appreciate you. I commend you. I'm praising you for what you have done. You're not higher than God, but I'm just commending you for a job well done, encouraging you. So that's a different, type. When you're using it in the right way. But when you're using it as being conceited and thinking you're better than someone else and thinking you're above everybody else, that's when it becomes a problem. So I just want to share that. And the last verse I will share is in Galatians chapter 6, verse 4. Galatians 6, verse 4. But let every man prove his own work And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. So prove your own work, and then you can rejoice in yourself. Not that you're flaunting it in front of anybody else. You know, it's okay to take pride in what you do because it's representing you. You want to give your best. Your work reflects you. But when that pride becomes, the point of where you think you're better than someone else, are you so conceited and thinking you're above everyone else? Or when you take on that spirit of pride, is not good, because that's what happened, as I read in the book of Isaiah. Satan tried to exalt himself above God, wanting to take his glory. That's when it becomes a problem. When you're trying to take somebody else's glory. When you're exalting yourself or trying to exalt yourself above someone else, or when you're boasting in yourself. Esteem others higher than yourself. So think about that pride definition and be careful that the spirit of pride does not take over you. Love you guys. Have a great one.